Rotu's DragonSoul Hero Review.
Let's begin.
Up for review this week, Zombie Squire. His white, active skill, Undead Roundhouse. Swings his leg at the closest foe, dealing 2 stars worth of magic damage and stunning it for 4 seconds. Guaranteed to stun foes skill level or lower. Has the magic damage trait and the bashing damage trait. I try to rate each skill on its own merit, but I cannot help it this time. While the stun is great, as they always are, the damage is bad, and the worst part is this does magic damage. As a hero who's based on lifesteal, that's just an unforgivable poor design decision. I rate this as a 2-star skill. His green skill, Dead Beating. Beats foes with his arm, dealing them 2 stars worth of physical damage. Has the physical damage trait and the bashing damage trait. Bad damage, but this is an arch swinging attack, so hits multiple enemies if they're in range. Life stealing on all of them. I rate this as a 3-star skill. His blue skill, United Outbreak. Zombie Squire spreads disease to his foes, granting him and his allies 48 lifesteal. Has no traits. This is an interesting skill, brimming with potential. It has a low progression rate, and that holds it back, although it was addressed in his legendary. I rate this as a 4-star skill. His purple skill, Pushin' Daisies. The first time Zombie Squire dies, he resurrects with 18,000 health. Has no traits. This is Zombie Squire's most distinctive skill, and I have to point out his best icon art. This may be my favorite icon in the game. I just like it. The amount of health this skill gives is low and doesn't scale well. I rate this as a 5-star skill. His orange, legendary skill, Unflappable. After reviving, the Zombie Squire's attacks and skills do an extra 1 star's worth of damage. He also grants his team an additional 120 lifesteal. Has no traits. This skill is unlocked when you promote to orange and then do 3 quests. Quest 1, no more, no less. Sacrifice a holy hand grenade once per day for 3 consecutive days. No more, no less. One of the more annoying item quests, not particularly hard, but I don't like multi-day quests. Quest 2, Battles Without Judgment. Win 30 hard mode expedition battles using Zombie Squire, but not Faith Healer. Standard, easy stuff. In fact, by orange, Faith Healer is all but phased out of expedition, which amused me a little more than it should have. Quest 3, Build Me Up Buttercup. Using Pushin' Daisies to revive 30 times in 1 day. Only counts if you win. I have a very large vocabulary, and yet there is not a word in the English language to fully express my frustration here. I loathe this quest. It should be easy, right? I plan to fight a nice campaign with a crab and just do it 30 times. Easy mode. Nope. Zombie Squire can't even die right. This took me like 2 hours because I had to manually do each mission and time my attacks, and basically had to solo it with Dark Cool because more heroes would just kill the enemy crab too fast. Even then, I only successfully did it 50% of the time. Frost Giant was frustrating, but once I found a spot, it worked. I did this quest more than a week before recording, and I'm still seething with anger and disdain. Too little, too late. This is a pretty nice skill, but it doesn't add much when compared to the average legendary skill. First, the extra damage isn't really impressive, especially for having to get killed first, and the lifesteal, by wording, I'm not sure if this even affects Zombie Squire, just his allies. I rate this as a 2-star skill. The suggested runes are Tree for plus 15% health, Mist for plus 40% magic resist, and Blood for plus 200 lifesteal. The suggestion of Blood just helps emphasize this hero's poor skill scaling to me. I use Tree, Mist, and Rock for a plus 30% armor in lieu of Blood. I really considered using Tree and Bolt for plus 15% attack speed, which would help his lifesteal focus out, but felt his only real use for me didn't benefit from Bolt. It is a viable option if you intend to use him for any significant role though. For his keystone, his optimal stats are Strength, Health, and Armor. For major runes, his primary should be Health or attack speed. For minor runes, his primaries should be Expertise. For tertiaries on all runes, lifesteal, movement speed, accuracy, crit boost, crit damage, and cooldown reduction. But because his active is so lackluster and poorly themed, Fury and Conservation weren't very appealing to me. I will say, because of how I use him, I avoided getting dodge for him at all. Where do I use Zombie Squire? I do not use him in Boss Pit. I do not use him in Titan Temple. I do not use him in Coliseum. I do not use him in Fight Pit. I do not use him in Expedition. I do not use him in War. I would not use him in a box. I would not use him with a fox. There's only one serviceable use of Zombie Squire, and that's to get blown up by gnomes or be the target of crabs. And I personally have never bothered. But that is his best use. I tried for a long time to make Zombie and Bard work without any success. The only other combination that comes to mind are ones like Hydra, Rabid Dragon, and Roller Warrior, and I just wouldn't bother weighing them down with Zombie Squire. When I started working on Zombie Squire, I felt he was useless. After working on him to review him, I have a lower opinion of him, albeit a slightly bitterly fueled one nonetheless. He is a borderline useless hero who has one minor but unnecessary use. There are very few heroes whom I think Blood Rune set is useful for because it's such a minor number given. Zombie Squire offers less and takes a spot in the group. Overall, I rate Zombie Squire as a 1-star hero. This hero is not worth your time, and I would straight up delete mine if I could to save myself the eyesore. I don't want to end on such a negative note. I noticed Zombie Squire had no alt skins, so I had fun and made my own. We have Rick, the Zombie Cop, Zombie Thriller, and finally, Rob Zombie Squire. Anyways, comment, subscribe, rate, blah blah blah. That's the end. Okay, bye.